Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday morning practice. Good morning, Rebecca. And for those of you who are new, we alternate from week to week. And so this week, we are going to be practicing an exercise that we call Yin Jin Jing, YJJ, and which stands for renewal or exchange of, if you translate it one way, it's called tendon, but it's really connective tissue. And it's a very good exercise, especially for those of us who are a certain age, because it combines three important aspects. One is stretching, and then it's cardio, and then finally it's a muscle building. But actually, it's more designed for clearing the channels, the energy channel. So it comes in 14 steps and addressing all 12 what we call meridians or energy channels, plus two primary, right? Now, before we start, just have a quick announcement. Next week, instead of Saturday, it will be on Sunday. Our class will be on Sunday. I don't get too many days off, and sometimes I do have to take a day off to take care of my dental work. All right. So I'll announce it again at the end of the class. Next week, it will be on Saturday, not Sunday. Okay. All right. So let's get started. And so to pair it with the Yin Jin Jing exercise, we're going to be doing some massage, some tapping, some acupressure, some scraping, and so forth. Different modalities to essentially clear the energy channel. And we're going to start with the extremities, which are the fingertips. So I want you to take out the left hand, take out the right thumb, and just very gently but mindfully massaging the fingertips. Mindfully means that you anchor your mind. You anchor your mind on the fingertip and you massage. And at the same time, you pay attention to the change in your body. And now, after the fingertips, we're going to start working from the fingertips all the way up to the shoulder. So we're going to start working on the joints. So I want you to focus on the fingers, one finger at a time. Focus on the joint, one joint at a time. Massage the front, the left, back to the front, and then to right. And once you finish with one finger, you let that go, and then you go to the next finger. You keep anchoring your mind on your body. And so everything that we do here is considered meditation. All right, consider meditation, and meaning that we're always anchoring a mind somewhere. And so when we exercise, when we move, that's when we anchor a mind on our body. Now we're going to start on the right side using the left thumb. I say again, massaging the fingers. All right. And when we sit, when we stand, when we lie down, then we anchor our mind on the breath, right? Always one thing at a time, never more than one. Okay. Now we're done with the palm, so we're going to turn around and walk in the back. And once again, we're starting at the fingertips, the extremities. But this time, we're going to use both our thumb and our index finger and put that on both sides of the nail, at the corner of the nail, and just kind of squeeze it a little bit. And now we're going to move from the left to the right. And then we're going to work on the joints again. So someone mentioned that they're waiting or they're looking for a hip replacement. Just a reminder, there's no particular reason why you have to sit certain way. Just because I sit with my leg crossed doesn't mean that you have to do it, right? Most of my students, they just sit on the chair, right? Find something comfortable. Now, usually we ask students not to lean back and just sit, learning to sit with the spine, with the and so forth. But if you have to, it's okay, right? Just lean back and just relax, right? One joint at a time, one joint at a time. All right, so we're done with the fingers. We're moving away from the fingertips. First, we're gonna get to the knuckle. And so we're gonna hold the fist, the left hand, very gently. We're gonna take the right thumb and we're gonna use the edge of the thumb and we're gonna massage between the knuckles. But the way you do that is that you start at you know, where the fingers goes like this, the bottom of the U, and then just kind of go like this, massage. Okay, now do on the other side. Okay, some of you are gonna feel some numbness, right? So, or sore, and that's a good indication that you're doing it at the right place. Now we're gonna massage the back of the hand. Okay, so you notice that in the back of the hand, each of the bones are still individualized, and then they eventually join at the wrist. So I want you to take the thumb and just kind of slide it between the bones. Okay, and then do this the other side. Slide between the bones. And then now I want you to come back and do a little bit of acupressure on the wrist. So you feel the wrist, there's like two dimples in here. So you take the right thumb and just kind of press on it. Press on it. The other way, press on that, press on that. And then now you take the the little fingers, you come down, and then on the edge of the wrist, there's another dimple right here. And same thing on the thumb, there's another one right here. Same thing over here. Same thing over here. All right. Okay. So now we're ready to put the hands together. And oh, before we do that, we have to massage the thumb. Okay. So now we really massage the thumb. The thumb is the one that we use the most. And yeah, you can make a pincher and just pinch this part right here. And then same thing on the other side. And then just kind of pinch on that part. And then you use the knuckle and you can even do this. All right. Now this has turned out to be a very important part. And do that. Okay, now do the same thing at the center of the palm. Center of the palm meaning that if you were to imagine taking the middle fingers down, and it's right here. Okay, so just kind of do that a little bit, do that a little bit. And then I want you to put it together and then just kind of rub it together. And then put the right hand on top of the left. So we're massaging the back of the hand as well as the center of the palm. And then I want you to squeeze the fingers together and just kind of give it a really good massage. And then the other side, right? Okay, now we're ready to do some finger exercise. So the first one, and we're gonna take a thumb and the index finger, and we're gonna squeeze as hard as we can. Then we take the thumb and the middle finger, squeeze as hard as we can. Then the ring finger, squeeze as hard as we can. And then the small fingers, squeeze as hard as we can. Now we're gonna take the thumb and we're gonna put it in the middle of the index finger, and we do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now we're going to do the second set of the exercise by exercising the left brain and the right brain. So, and this is a Qigong exercise. So let's come back to the spine, stretch the spine towards the ceiling, lift up a shoulder, lean back the upper torso, open that shoulder, and then relax that shoulder. All right, now we're going to take the right hand up. Close our eye. We are using the left brain. We're going to close those fingers one at a time. The thumb, 2 fingers, index, and then little fingers. Now I'm going to put down the right hand, bring up the left hand. We do the same. Thumb, 2 fingers, index, little fingers. Bring both hands up and squeeze as hard as we can. Leave the right hand. We're going to open those fingers in reverse order. Little fingers, index, 2 fingers, thumb. Left hand, little fingers, index, 2 fingers, thumb. We're going to stretch those fingers as hard as we can. Okay, that's the first one. We're going to do the second one, second set. All right, now we're going to speed up a little bit. Thumb, 2 fingers, index, little fingers. Left hand, thumb, 2 fingers, index, little fingers. Squeeze as hard as we can. Right hand, little fingers, index, two fingers, thumb. Left hand, little fingers, index, 2 fingers, thumb. We're going to stretch as hard as we can. That's the second set. Now we're going to do the last set. Right thumb, 2 fingers, index, little fingers. Thumb, 2 fingers, index, little fingers. Squeeze, little fingers, index, 2 fingers, thumb. Little fingers, index, 2 fingers, thumb. And then we're going to stretch. All right. Now we're going to put the hands together we're going to push the palms together, and we're going to sit up straight, and then we're going to lift up the elbow. All right, now leaving the palms touching each other, we're going to bring it down, stretch the wrist a little bit. All right, now we're going to come back and we're going to do some tapping. We're going to tap the fingertips, but when you tap, you have to pay attention because we're actually energizing it. So it's as if you're playing a musical instrument. Okay, get ready, go. Okay, 30 times, right? Now we're going to cross those fingers to turn out to be another energy point where we were before massaging, right? So we're going to tap that 30 times. Again, tap as if you're playing a musical instrument. Get ready? Go. Okay, we're going to continue to tap. So now we're going to tap the palm, and the little fingers is where the energy line that we name after the heart, or actually more like the mind, and it goes through here. So there's actually two energy points, one on each side, that are on the meaty part, right? So you're going to take your palm, you're going to form a V. Now make sure that we're tapping the meaty part. Okay, get ready, go. Okay, now we're going to turn around, forming a V again, and then we're going to tap right below the thumb. Okay, now imagine that this is like a drumstick, right? All right, get ready, go. Okay. Okay, Deborah says that she just had abdominal surgery for her hernia on Tuesday. Now the back pain is very intense. Um, so don't try to beat your body into submission. So just lean back, relax, and if you could just move your hand. If you cannot, just even listen to my voice. It's very soothing. I was told that, right? So just imagine just being with us, right? Really be part of the energy, and just relax. All right. Don't if you need time to recover, just take your time. All right. Now we're gonna tap on the opposite side, where the part is exposed to the sun, so that's the yang side, right? That's the yang energy. Now the small fingers on the yin side is what we name after the heart. The other side is what we name after the intestines, small intestines. So there's an energy point right at the edge of the palm. So if you were to fold your hand like this, you see this line is right there. Now this energy point actually has very interesting characteristic. It's actually connected to a spine. So as we age, we want more yang energy, right? So this is a very good one. And so we're going to fold our hands like this, fold your hands like this, and then softest, going to tap this 30 times. Get ready, go. Okay, now this is the small intestines, and this is the large intestines, right? Now you might say, well, wait a minute, the large intestines right here, what does that have to do? Well, this is energy line, this is energy channel that happens to pass through a particular organ, so we name after that. But actually, it has different effect. For example, this energy line that we call the large intestine, it actually goes up and it passes this right here, right? Passes right here. So if you have thyroid problem, the Chinese medicine doctor would tell you a lot about the large intestine. It's not that the large intestine has to do with the thyroid. It's just that this energy line happens to pass through the thyroid. So if you clear the energy here, it will help with the thyroid. Similarly, the triple warmers in the back of the hand, it actually goes around your neck. And then so if you have any problem with headache, and so that's another energy line, right? It's not complicated, it's just different. All right. All right, so this energy point is actually magical. This one actually reduces any kind of pain in the body. So there's a couple of ways we can work on that. Let's do some acupressure. So we're going to open up the fingers. You see this indentation? We call that the valley, merging valley. So we're going to take the right thumb. Notice this line. We're going to put that line on the edge, and then we're going to press down. Now you should try that and see if you can move it around and see if you can find that one point that is sore, and that's where you want to be. Next time you have a cramp, whether it's leg cramp or any kind of cramp, then put that here and then just press on it, and it actually remove the pain. And then, especially with leg cramp, once you remove the pain, you can then relax. Right? Now, same thing on the other side. Just press down. Okay, so some energy points that I will introduce you to. Now we're going to take this energy point and just put it on top. I'm going to tap that 30 times. And then the other side. Okay, now we're going to do some scraping, and scraping clear the energy channel. And the two energy channel that I scrape almost every day, and one is in the back of the arm. It's actually called the triple warmer. It's a little bit interesting translation because the word doesn't mean the word as it exists today means focus or heat. So that's why it's translated into warmer. But in the old days, the same word um, actually meant membrane. So this triple warmer energy line has no equivalent in the Western science, but it's actually the energy line that contains all of the internal organs, all three chambers above the diaphragm, between the diaphragm and the belly button, and then below the belly button, right? And so this one clears the chi in the totality of the upper torso, and it's a very good one. And so it's also very good if you have carpal tunnel. All right. Every time you clear the chi, you reduce pain because pain comes from inflammation. All right. So we're going to come to that, but I want you to work on the inside first because we only do it once every other week. So you take your knuckle and you scrape, or you get a scraping tool or any kind of tool that you can buy from Amazon or whatever, or you use a ruler, right? And you just scrape from the elbow along the center line until you get to the wrist, and then you come back and you're going to feel some pain, but then you get used to that pain. It's kind of a very pleasant kind of pain because afterwards you just feel so much better. And then we're going to go up and you see the bone. Inside the bone is the energy line that we name after the lung. Then we're going to scrape the bone. And if you feel any kinks on the bone, that means that the cross flow is blocked. Okay, now on the outside of the bone, okay, so this is the the large intestine. This is the one that I said that happens to pass through the thyroid. So if you have any kind of thyroid problem, the doctors will recommend that you scrape this. Then the center part is the triple warmer. This is always good because they take care of everything. And now scrape the back of the hand, scrape the fingers, the thumb, the fingers, the back of the hand, and then just scrape that triple warmer. And then move it a little bit, rotate a little bit so you scrape on the outside of the bone, then you scrape on top of the bone, you scrape the inside of the bone, then you scrape the center line, and then you come back from the little fingers. This is the heart, but it's actually the same as in Chinese, heart and mind that's the same. So you come down here, and at the wrist is a very famous energy point that would improve the quality of your sleep. Okay, so you just keep scraping here and then along to the elbow. Okay, all right. Now you're on the right side. First, the center line. Once you get used to this, and it becomes very addictive because it just make your body feel so much better. And then the bone, and then outside the bone. And then the center part, the triple warmer, and then the back of the hand, the fingers, the back of the hand, and then all the way around. Okay, and then the along the little fingers, right? All right. So we're accustomed to taking painkillers, right? Or at least um, if not painkillers, at least Advil, right? Advil or Tylenol. Anytime we have discomfort, then pop two, and you go to sleep, right? I used to take that to go to sleep because it actually helps me sleep. Because what it does is that it reduces the inflammation in your body, reduce inflammation in your body, and you feel better. The problem is that whether you're taking Advil or Tylenol or just even like pain medicine, or even like putting patches on, it ultimately ends up in your kidney, and so that's not a good thing, right? But the problem is that it's not addressing the key issue. Is that why do you have inflammation to begin with? Well, the Chinese have an answer to that, right? If you clear your energy channel, then inflammation goes away. That's how it works. Okay. All right. So now we come to the next part, and this is we used doing the finger works again. You notice that we spend a lot of time on the fingers, right? Because it's the extremity. It's really when the yang energy goes out and then comes back as yin energy. That's the place where they get together. All right. So now we're gonna stretch our spine, lift up our shoulder, open our shoulder, lean back, relax. Then we're gonna point all 10 fingers towards the camera. Gonna lock our elbow, going to roll up four fingers, and we're going to lock the four fingers with a thumb. So the four fingers are like springs. So we're going to wind up those springs, but we're going to hold it down with the thumb. And then we're going to get ready and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So I'm a mechanical engineer. So this is Newton's second law, action equal to reaction, right? So you put out the energy and then the energy come back. That's how you clear the channel. And this is very good if you have carpal tunnel. Everybody has carpal tunnel because we use our fingers so much, right? Okay, so continue, hang on. All right, we're gonna continue and we're gonna sit straight, open, relax. We're gonna take our hands, we're gonna form empty, this is called a lotus hand. By taking the thumb and the middle fingers together, we're gonna stretch out the other three. We're gonna put the lotus hand in front of our shoulder. We're gonna open up that shoulder. We're gonna lean back the upper torso, but we're gonna rotate the hip forward. Back of the hand facing the camera. Get ready? 1, back of the hand facing the camera. Come back, lotus hand. 2, come back, lotus hand. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and finally 10. Okay, so this is very good not only for carpal tunnel but also for frozen shoulder, which is also inflammation. Okay, now we're gonna start working towards the top of the head. All right, so this part here is an energy line. There's actually a lot of energy line that goes through here. We have the primary channel, then we have something that covers the back, which is the bladder, the one we name after the bladder. And then we also have one that we name after the gallbladder. There's 2 energy points right here. It's very important. So I want you to sit up straight, use your thumb, and just find those 2 cavities and massage a little bit. And then we're going to use the thumb and just press in as if you're squeezing a water hose. Then we're going to lean back the neck, hold it. Then we're doing acupressure. And then relax. Now we're going to take the right hand, put that on the left, push down with 4 fingers, sit up straight. We're going to grab the left side of the neck and gently pull it over to the right as we're opening up channel. Same thing on the other side. Push down, lean back, and then pull it to the left. Now we're going to take up the ear loop. We're going to use the right hand, massage below the ear loop. Now this energy point is actually very important. These two energy points right here, they also have, they're named after the wind. So wind is something you cannot see, cannot feel, cannot taste. You cannot see, cannot taste, cannot smell. You can only feel. So this is, wind is nerve. Okay, and so this energy point here is called the palm of wind, and this energy point here is is a word that means um, obstruction nerve. It happens to be the beginning of the vagus nerve. So I want you to massage this. This is very important cavity, one of the 9 longevity cavities right below the ear. Then I want you to massage across, right? This is actually how the vagus nerve runs. Okay, now we do the same thing on the right side. We lift up our ear loop, take the right hand and just massage that cavity. And then we're going to do the same thing. Okay, now we're going to massage top of the ear, bring it down on top of the bones. Do the same thing on the other side. Now we're going to do some acupressure right in the middle. So this is the cavity right here. This is the ear right in the middle on top of the bone. If you just kind of push down and massage, you feel like, oh, there's so much stress here. All right, so this is one of the famous energy points to release the stress, to help you with sleep. And so there are others I'll show you. All right, now we're going to come back and just kind of squeeze the neck. We're going to put a thumb and the fingers on both sides. Then we come to the middle and we squeeze. Then we go down here and we squeeze. Okay, you can kind of feel that cavity right here. All right, so now we're going to come to the left side. Going to lift up our ear loop again, and then we're going to use the hand, index finger, the edge of the index finger, as if it's a blade, and we're just going to scrape that. And you know this because this is where your lymph nodes, lymphatic system, right? And then we're going to massage the top of the shoulder. Then if you just reach back, there's a cavity right here. You reach across, there's a cavity right here, and you just kind of massage your shoulder. So those of us who has high blood pressure and are taking high blood pressure medicine, you tend to have a lot of stress in the back because you're not getting enough oxygen, right? The reason that you have, one of the reasons why you have high blood pressure, the body senses the amount of oxygen that you're actually getting into the brain. When it knows that you're not getting enough oxygen, then it increases the blood pressure. But if the doctor give you blood pressure medicines to knock it down, then you're definitely not getting enough oxygen. And as a result, you have a lot of pain here, and you need to learn to relieve those pain. Or better yet, find out why you have high blood pressure to begin with. And usually in the beginning, it's just anxiety. And so you just need to learn how to breathe with your stomach, right? Relieving the stress. Or as I post on one of our post an article on our different social media platform, get a cat. Read that article, it's really good. Okay, now we do the same thing on this side. And then we massage. And then we massage in the back. And then we massage around. Okay, all right. Okay, so now you notice that we're covering everything, right? It's pretty amazing what we do here. We're going from the fingers to the toes. We're going from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet, right? Just massaging. All right, so now we're going to come to the face, okay? So first we're going to put the focus back on the center of a palm. This is the healing hand. So I want you to put it together and rub it clockwise, but focus on that. This is the only energy point that can give our energy. So this healing hand, there are people who heal with the hand by knowing how to focus the energy on the center of the palm, right? Here we're just doing it to ourselves, self-healing. So I want you to put that in front of your eye, form a cavity, an empty hand, so you're not touching the eyeball. So you put that in front of you, you move your fingers around. So when you open your eye, you see only darkness. Okay, get ready. First time, put that. Second time, put on top. See, you feel a bit of warmth now because the hand just basically the heating energy is infrared, and you feel the infrared when you look into the darkness. Okay, now we're gonna massage the forehead, massage the face, massage the side of the face. I'm gonna put that on top of the temple, massage the temple. All right. So now I'm going to focus on some of the energy points in addition to the one in the back that will help you sleep by relieving stress. The first one is right here in between the eyebrow. So just use a couple of fingers, either 2 or 3, and just massage. But then you have to help yourself by asking yourself, whispering to yourself to say, relax, relax. Now we're going to take the index finger and put that in the beginning of the eyebrow and just do that, relax. Then we're going to put that on top of the eyebrow and relax. Now we're going to take 2 or 3 fingers, put that in front of the eyebrow and just kind of go up the forehead and then say relax, relax, and then relax. Now we're going to massage the forehead, and then we're going to massage right here where the hair part, where the hair forms a point. Then we're going to massage the top of the head. This is where our brain is doing all its cognitive work. Then the back of the brain is where the memory, and then the lower part of the brain is all the motor function. And then massage the neck, and then massage above the ear, back to the face. And then we're going to massage the fingers once again by grabbing each and every one of them and just kind of rotate around like this. And then we're going to do on the other side. Okay, now we're going to massage the eyes. So I talk about this longevity cavities. So 5 of them on top of the upper torso. First one is behind the ear. That happens to be the beginning of the vagus nerve. And then the second one is the eye. So we're going to learn how to massage the eye by massaging 3 energy points on top and then 3 energy points in below. First, we'll go back to the beginning eyebrow and just use your index finger. Sit up straight, push down with the index finger. Okay, be sure not to use your fingernail. We're going to use a little bit of energy, a little bit of force with the neck. So, all right. And then relax. Then we're going to put 2 index fingers in between the eyebrow, and then we're going to massage the eyebrow as if we're squeezing toothpaste, right? So not only are we massaging the energy points, we're actually massaging the oil tubes that keeps our eye wet, okay? Now we're going to take the right thumb and we put that at the corner of the eye and just kind of massage below the eye bag. And then same thing on the other side. Now, then we're going to take the index finger, put that in the corner of the eye, but we're actually pressing a little bit on the bridge of the nose, okay? All right. And then, now don't use your finger though. Okay, so we're going to sit up straight, close our eye. We're going to do some eye yoga. All right, so I want you to look up as far up as you can. Then I want you to look to the right as far as you can. Close your eye. I want you to look down, then to the left, back to the up. Now from here, we're going to go clockwise. Okay, get ready. Up, right, down, left. Up, right, down, left. Up, right, down, left. Back to up, we're going to go counterclockwise. Left, down, right, up. Left, down, right, up. Left, down, right, up. Now, open your eyes. Okay, these 2 energy points called the bright eye. All right. Okay, so now we're going to take 2 fingers, put that in the corner, back to the corner of the eye, and just kind of massage all the way down. Okay, from the corner of the eye to the corner of the mouth, all the way down. And then one last time. Now we're going to come back to below the eye. Okay, so there's 2 here, and then outside the nostril. Then we're going to massage the neck to both sides of the neck. All right, so we're done here. So now we'll work on the ear. So take a thumb. We're going to divide this in 3 parts. So we put the thumb on top, the fingers in the back, and just kind of massage. the middle, massage. Then we're going to take the index finger, put that below, the thumb behind, massage. Massage the tip, yank. Massage the edge, massage your ear loop, yank. Leave the thumb behind the ear loop. Put the index finger outside of the ear canal and just kind of massage. Now we're going to massage the back of the ear. We're going to take the thumb and just kind of massage the fold area. Then we're going to take two fingers, one on the ear, one on the skull, massage from the top to the below. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And then two fingers. And then we're going to do one last thing with the ear called the drumming of the ear. We're going to take the hand, put that behind, close the ear, and then we're going to go 1, 2, and then 3. Okay? All right. Finally, we get to the top of the head. So we're going to massage the scalp first. And then we're going to tap in the middle of the ear, middle of the head. So it's actually right here. This is called the 100 meat. This is where all the yang energy comes together. So we're going to learn to sit straight, lift up our shoulder, lean back up the torso, open the shoulder, relax the spine. And then we're going to lean back the forehead, and then we're going to tuck in the chin so the top of the head is on top of our central nerve system. Then we're going to take 10 fingers, we put that on top, up and down, right? And then we're going to tap that 30 times. Get ready? Go. Now we're going to use the fingertips, those energy points, and we're going to just massage the scalp like this, all the way down. Second time. And then third time. And then we're going to put that on top of the ear. 1, 2, and 3. All right. So now we continue to tap. So we're going to tap from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet. So first we're going to tap on the shoulder. This is called the well of the shoulder. And in addition, we're going to tap right here, which is what I call the gate to the clouds. This one is the energy line that we name after the gallbladder. This one we name after the lung. Now we're going to open the shoulder, relax. We're going to take our right hand. So we'll turn our head to the right. We're going to form an empty hand. We're going to put the fingers on top and the palm in front. We're going to tap that with this empty hand. So we're actually using air to excite, okay? We're not beating it to submission. So we're going to listen with the left ear. Make sure that, understanding that it's as if we're playing an instrument, okay? Get ready? Go. Wake up. Now, then we're going to sit up straight, open the shoulder, relax, and then we're going to turn the head to the left. Bring up the left hand, empty hand. Put that on the right, fingers on top, palm in front. Listen with the right ear. Okay, get ready. Wake up. Okay, so we're going to continue to tap. We have 2 more places to have to tap before we move to the lower part of the body. But before we do that, we're going to massage the other 3 cavities. We have 5 in upper body. Remember, eye, back of the ear, now to the belly button. So we're going to take our right hand. We can put the left hand on top or not, and then we're just going to massage the belly button. But actually, you're massaging all the energy points around the belly button. And then we're going to increase the diameter a little bit. So we're massaging the large intestines and the small intestine. Okay. All right. So now we're going to massage the armpit, which is part of the heart meridian, right? So we're going to use the right hand. We use this one right here. This is the energy point right here. So we're doing two things at once. We're massaging the armpit as well as the energy point. Now we do the same thing on the other side. Now we're going to come to the arm, the elbow, which has three energy points. So we're going to use this one again and just massage from the top to the middle and then the bottom. Same thing on the other side, all the way around. Okay, so now we're going to continue the tapping. And not only are we tapping here because this is the mind or the heart. And so there's a muscle here that usually is very soft, right? Even mine is very soft. But so we want to stretch this. So later on when we do the Yin Jin Jing, this is one of the things that we do is to stretch this part. Okay, so we're going to take the elbow and we're going to put that on top of the head. We're going to sit up straight, so we're stretching this part. Then we're going to pinch on the right ear, turn the head to the right, bring up the right hand, empty hand, put that on the armpit. Listen with the left ear. Get ready? Go. Wake up. Now we're going to do the other side. Put that on top of the head. Sit up straight. So we're stretching this. You feel it? Okay, now we're going to pinch the left ear, turn the head to the left. Left hand, empty hand. Right ear. Get ready? Wake up. Okay, finally we get to the elbow. Lock your elbow, take your right hand, wrap it around the elbow. So fingers on top, the palm on the side. We lift up the hand so that the palm is facing this up and that's about eye level. Turn the head to the right, listen with the left ear. Get ready, go. Wake up. And then the other side, left hand, right hand. Right ear. Get ready, go. Continue. Okay, now we're going to move to the lower part of the body and continue until we get to the bottom of our feet. Okay, now the upper part is um, mainly the heart and the lung, right? The lower part is where we have the kidney, the splint, and the liver. So whereas the upper part has to do with your mainly your breathing, your oxygenation, and the lower part has more to do with the metabolics. Okay, all right. Oh, hang on. Okay, now we're going to work on the lower part of our body and inside, and then three sides are the outside, right? The inside is the yin, and the yin means absence of the sun. And inside, especially here, is where the um, the splint energy and also the liver energy, right? So there's a very important point right here. So you find the knee, you measure three fingers, and it's right here. Now you can actually press in, and it feels a little bit sore. So this two energy point is actually known for reducing inflammation in your body in such a way that it reduces the cholesterol. Now, cholesterol by itself is not a problem. Cholesterol is actually your body's way of healing the inflammation in your blood vessel. Okay. Now, the Western science kind of interesting. Let me digress a bit. If you think about a medical doctor, which is a tremendous individual, he spends a long time studying, right? Until in the mid 30s, even if everything's on schedule, before he can come out and practice. So he learned everything while he was in medical school. And once he's out practicing, he doesn't go back to school. This is not the same with engineering or scientists. We're constantly learning. So their way of constant learning is to go to conferences that are sponsored by the drug companies. So essentially, the rest of the career is working off a catalog. So when you go to the doctor, in his mind, he has a catalog of drugs. So he matches the drugs with your symptom. And that's what he does, is he reduces the symptom. He never asks why you had the symptom to begin with. So the two things I notice these days are that if you go to the doctor and he asks you to go get a blood test and you come back with high cholesterol, that's the problem. The drug is to reduce the cholesterol. It doesn't ask why you would have cholesterol, right? So there's a myth that says, oh, because you ate the yolk of the egg instead of just eating the egg white. No, cholesterol is not generated by food, or very little. And so now they're saying, oh, wait a minute, if we knock down the cholesterol, then there's nothing left for the brain. So that's a problem. The other problem is has to do with stress. So now they have understanding of how a lot of the diseases are related to inflammation, and they notice that people who are inflamed has a lot of cortisol in the system. So now you have a lot of drugs that knock down the cortisol. But cortisol is there to reduce inflammation, right? Cortisol is a steroid. So why is it that you have so much steroid in your body, but yet you're still inflamed? Well, because you have too much, right? You have too much. You have cortisol resistance, right? Just like type 2 diabetes is because you have resistance to the, what is the chemical called? But it doesn't matter, right? It's always about the symptom. Now, here we're trying to reduce inflammation by clearing the qi. And this turned out to be a very important point. And we believe that if you clear the qi, the body will not inflame. Right? All right, so now the trick here is that we use this energy point at the edge of a fist. And again, we're not trying to beat the body into submission. We're trying to create a resonance so we're energized, right? So I want you to kind of loosen up your knee here, right? I don't want you to be really tight, and I don't want you to be very flexible, just the right. And then so you're creating a vibration. Get ready? Go. Wow. And then in the middle. Now close your knee, and then we're going to do two energy points outside, which are the yang energy. And these two, this is the energy line that we name after the gallbladder. So get ready, go. Okay, second one. Now, then we're going to work on below the knee. So the first energy point is the first cavity below the knee. So you run your fingers up and you can't go any further. That's the one, okay? Now this one is known for improving your immunity. Get ready? Go. And then in the middle. Now, in the middle is interesting. This one is called it's same as here, right? Remember we call this the bright eye, has to do with the eye. Well, that makes sense because it's so close to the eye. This one also means bright something, has to do with the eye. How could it be? Well, this energy line is called the gallbladder. It's the yang side of the liver energy. The liver energy runs up to your eye. Okay, so in the middle, get ready, go. Now, one more energy point. We go all the way down to the ankle. We measure 4 fingers. Get ready? Now, this one is called a hanging bell. You can feel the tingling in your toes. Get ready? Go. All right. So we're done with the gallbladder energy line. Now we're going to work on the stomach energy line, and it's right in front. See, it's just yang energy, right? Now we come back to the knee. You find the beginning of the knee. You measure 4 fingers. You find the edge. You find the bone. It's right outside the bone. Okay, so now you put your knees together, and you use this energy point. Put that on top, and you go front and back. Okay, not on top of the bone. Get ready? Go. And then go down 4 fingers. Again, find the bone. It's on the outside the bone. Get ready? Go. Okay, now we have one more yang energy line left, which is the one that we named after the bladder. And there's an important energy point here at the bottom of the calf. So I want you to put your right foot on top of the left knee and then just kind of push it down a bit. You feel that one place where it's very sore? That's the one, okay? Now, 30 times. And then the other side. And then 30 times. Okay. All right. So now we're going to work on the toes. We start at the fingers. We're going to end up with the toes. Okay. All right. Oh, let's start on the left. We always start on the left. Now, I want you to identify the 5 toes and identify the 4 kind of valley, right, in between the toes. I want you to take the right thumb, use the edge, and just kind of massage them one at a time. Okay. Now I want you to come back, open the big toe in the second one, and then comes in, and before the bone join together, and just do a little bit of acupressure. Now, it happens that the second toe is the stomach. The big toe is the splint. Okay, so these two are very important. Okay, one more time. Okay, now we're gonna turn the bottom of the feet up. We're gonna push back on the thumb. You notice this tendon. This is called the longevity tendon. You take your scraper and you scrape. And then you relax, you scrape the bottom of your feet, you scrape the heel, you scrape the ball area. Now we're going to massage the toes. Once again, starting with the tip of the toes, in between the toes. And then now we're going to scrape the arch. The arch is a very important part. We're going to scrape below the bone, all the way around to the heel, come back, and a couple more times. Okay. Now we're going to identify the ankle, and then there's a cavity here. So do some acupressure. And then you have the ankle, you measure 4 fingers, you find the bone right below the bone. Do some acupressure. And now we're going to do some more scraping from the ankle to the knee, right below the bone. And then finally, we come back to the bottom of the feet, right below the ball area. There's an energy point here called the gushing spring. So first we want to do some acupressure with 2 thumbs. Then we're going to do some massage with our good friend, right? The meaty part of the thumb. And then we're going to come back to the edge of the palm, and then we're going to do more massage. Then we're going to take the toes, bring it back. We're going to form empty hand, put that on top. So we're using the air, and we're tapping the center of the palm with the center of the bottom of your feet. This is fire. This is water. Okay, ready? Mixing water and fire. Go. Okay, now quickly we're going to do the right side. Nicole, thank you for that explanation. I couldn't have done it better. And hopefully the gentleman or the lady that came, Bella, so it's a lady, she's still here. Okay, now scrape in between the toes, one at a time, very sore. Okay, come back and then do some acupressure and then scrape again. Turn it upside down, push back the big toes, scrape the tendon, relax, scrape the bottom of your feet, scrape the heel, scrape the ball area, massage the toes one at a time, massage in between the toes, and then scrape the arch from the bone to the knee. And then do some acupressure right behind, in between the ankle and the Achilles heel. There's a cavity. And then measure 4 fingers from the ankle behind the bone, and then scrape on the inside. Come back to this gushing spring. First, we're going to do some acupressure. Then we're going to use the thumb, massage. Then we're going to use the edge of the palm, massage. We're going to bend back the toes. We're going to form empty hand, and they're perfectly designed. Okay, get ready, go. Continue. Okay, so let's get to the floor. I would like to spend more time at least teaching you the basic of our meditation technique, which one of the students actually last class really liked it and said that it's a great way to learn to do deep breathing. And I also posted an article that is a scientific study, and it talks about how deep breathing using your basically your diaphragm, moving your abdomen, is a really good way to for your mental health. All right, so we have a couple more cavities left. We have 9 total, 5 on top, 4 on the lower party. One of that is right behind, right? So where the kidneys are. So I want you to stand straight up, lean back slightly, so you can actually form that cavity. And then I just want you to massage that. And then go straight down to the back of the knee and then massage that. And then loosening up the knee, 4 fingers on top, and then the thumb on the side. We're going to tap that 30 times. Get ready, go. Continue. And finally, right here, right? Now you can see that from a Western perspective, this is where the nimnoks are. From an Eastern perspective, it's also the bottleneck for your yin energy, right? Because it's the inside of the body, back is yang. And so your liver energy, your spleen energy, and your spleen and your kidney energy all passes through here. So this is a bottleneck. I recently read an article by a very famous Chinese medicine doctor in Taiwan, She really recommend this. She's basically she spent a lot of time understanding cancer, and she said a lot of time is because of blockage here that causes problem uh, with our, as we age, we tend to have issue with our uh, reproductive system, right? Things that we don't use anymore. And so this is an important part. So massage this, do this on your own, right? Really spend a lot of time massaging this, just on the two side. Now we're gonna excite it using our fist. So we form a flat fist, put that here, fit it inside here, tap that 30 times. We're gonna energize it, right? Vibration. Get ready? Go. And one last exercise before we do Yin Jin Jing. And remember, we were talking about mixing the water and fire, right? Now we're going to talk about mixing the water and fire by working on your back. Upper part is water, lower part right here is fire. So we're going to take a right hand, empty hand. We're going to reach back to, like how your arm, there's like a triangular part right there, okay? And then we're going to take the left hand, use the back of the hand, wrap it around where the kidneys are. We're going to rotate our upper torso. Get ready? Go. Okay? All right, so now we're finally ready. And so this exercise combined, remember I said combine all three elements, stretching, cardio, and muscle, right? Muscle building. But it also comes in 14 steps to essentially a combination clearing the channels in our body. Now, the way to do that is to be aware of some of the important energy points. The bottom of the feet is called a gushing spring. Qigong exercise is not about releasing the energy inside. It's all about clearing the channel so that you can be part of the energy that is outside of you. And so the gushing spring identify the energy that are gushing up from the earth. So we're going to stand firmly on the ground. Then we're going to rotate the toes inward, loosening up your knee. So you're energizing the calf. The calf is the second heart. Remember, we were tapping this energy point. This is a very important part of longevity, is the health of the calf, right? There's a study at UCSF, University of California, San Francisco, that says that those who suffer from dementia, this is the part that they deteriorate first. I know this firsthand from my dad, okay? Now, the second energy point that you need to identify is the shoulder. And we call this the well on the shoulder. So imagine you're opening up your shoulder, you're aligning the well with the spring. Then you need to lean back the upper torso, lean back the forehead, and you're going to tuck in your chin so that the top of the head, the 100 meat, is where all the yang energy comes together. The difference between today's exercise, Yin Jin Jing, and next week's exercise is that this is more yang, more energetic. The exercise that we did last week and the one that we did the following week is more yin, more restorative. So it's important that you align the top of the head with the central nerve system. You do that by leaning back the forehead and tuck in the chin. Then you take the center of your palm, you put that and you bring that back a little bit so that it is in the middle, on the same plane as your spine. Okay. Now we're going to focus entirely on the center palm. So when I say go, you don't do that. You don't go as I say, but instead it's a signal that you concentrate on the center of your palm before you push. Aligning, synchronizing your mind and your body is exactly what yoga means. Get ready. Open that shoulder. Focus on the center of your palm. Go. And then now, this is the important part. So we were energetic, which means that we activate the sympathetic nerve, the fight or flight. We need to spend equal time on the parasympathetic, which is the rest and digest. You do this by focusing entirely on your breathing. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. One breath. Second breath. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Okay? The way that you know that you have successfully returned to the rest and digest is when you can actually feel the wetness of inside your mouth. Okay? When you actually reactivate the saliva gland. Second time, get ready, go. Come back to the breath. One last time. Open that shoulder, go. Come back to the breath. Okay, so this first one is called the spirit boosting palm. The second one is called pointing. Pointing means that you go from the palm to the fingers, to the thumb. You take your thumb, you point to the hip. Then you roll up your four fingers. You imagine hanging 2 water buckets on your thumb and you lift up the thumb as hard as you can. Then you relax, but not lowering your hand. You focus on your breath. Second time, relax again. One last time. And this time you lower your hand. You completely focus on your breath. You have no other random thoughts. And you feel the inside of your mouth. The third one is called beginner's mind. It's the baby's mind. It's what baby do. You put your thumb across, you roll up your 4 fingers, and you squeeze. And then you open your hands, but not lowering them. Just stay focused on your breath. After 2 breaths, second time. And then relax. Back to the breath. One last time. And this time, lower your hand, completely relax. Focus on your breath. Check the inside of your mouth. Now we're going to take a deep breath by putting the fists together, put that at the belly button. And as we breathe in, we lift up our hands. We lift up the upper torso until we get to the nose. Then we relax. Then we're going to bring the hips, not hips, the elbows together. Now we're going to focus on the back. Imagine, remember the energy point in the back? You're going to open that. Stretch. And then relax. Focusing on the breathing. Second time. And then relax. One last time. And then relax. After 2 breaths, the next one is called fist on top of the head. You open your shoulder, open your fist. We're doing some cardio by rolling our fists, lock it with the thumb, and squeeze as if you're doing a tug of war with your heart. And then you relax, let the blood come back to the fingertips. Second time, open the shoulder, roll your fist, squeeze. And then relax. Focusing on your breathing. One last time. And then relax. The next one is called stabbing your shoulder. You're actually working on the energy in the back, energy lines in the back of your neck. So you open the shoulder, you grab the daggers, you point the daggers onto your shoulder, essentially aligning this energy point with the shoulder. All right, now you do that by opening the shoulder and you stab as hard as you can. And then you relax, focusing on the breathing. Second time, open the shoulder, stab. You feel the tightness in the back of your neck. And then relax. One last time, stab. And then relax. The next one is called the cross. You're essentially stretching the upper arm, the triple warmer. So I want you to feel the two trees on both sides. So all you have to do is push the tree. You don't need to punch the tree, okay? So what you do now is you rotate your wrist, you roll your fist, you take a deep breath, you hold your breath, and you push. And then relax. Second time. And then relax. One last time. And then relax. Now, the triple warmer is so important that we do it twice. This one is called the front hanging. So you lock your elbow. Imagine the tree right in front of you. You roll your fist. Take a deep breath and push. And then relax. Okay, ready? Second time. Roll your wrist, roll your fist, take a deep breath, hold your breath and push. And then relax. One last time. And then relax. Now we're going to do chin up. Right? This is the muscle that we work on. Grab the bar, turn your head up, and then pull yourself up as hard as you can. And then relax. Second time. And then relax. One last time. And then relax. Now, muscle is so important that we do it twice. First time is this, second time is this, okay? So imagine you're grabbing the yellow page and you rip that yellow page open and then relax. Okay, second time. And then relax. One last time. And then relax. Now, this one called swallowing the chi. Actually, you collect all your saliva. So if you don't have any, you did it wrong, right? You didn't relax enough. Okay, now, and then we're going to swallow all the way down. We're going to come back and check a goat stand so that we're not standing, we don't stand and lock a knee, okay? Now we're going to straighten up the back. This is about the kidney now. Back of the hand touching. Lower your upper torso, upper body without standing on your, without locking your knee, okay? Lee, okay. Now back of the hand touching. We're going to squeeze the fists one time, back of the hand touching, focus on your breath. After 2 breaths. One last time. Okay, now we're going to flip the hand and breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, palm facing forward, lower your knees. See that big rock in front of you? Push. Take a deep breath and then relax. We're going to meditate. Again, you don't have to sit like I do. You can just sit on the chair. If you can, you don't lean back on your chair, but if you have to, it's okay. The important part is relax, be comfortable. But if you sit like I do, sometimes people like to sit with the legs crossed. I can't do that, but I can do one, or I can put one in front of another. Sometimes I even put this one so that they're pointing back. All that is acceptable. Just don't use your muscle, right? So if you sit like this, put some pillows and blankets so you're not using muscle. Then don't do any hand gesture, just relax. Just relax. And then now we come to the spine. We start at the lower part of the spine. We walk up the spine one joint at a time. We stretch the spine upward as hard as we can, as if we're hanging the spine on the ceiling. Then we're going to lean back to a point where you say, oh, I'm going to fall off. That's the part. Then you're going to relax. Then you're going to lift up your shoulder. You're going to open the shoulder, and then you're going to relax. Then you're going to lean back the forehead so the ear's on top of the shoulder, and then you're going to tuck in your chin. Then you're going to relax the eyelid. You close your eye, but you don't shut it. You just relax. So you can see a little bit of light coming in through the eyelashes. Go back to the forehead, relax the forehead. Go to in between the eyebrow, relax that. And finally, you take the tip of the tongue, you put it behind here where the teeth meets the roof of your mouth. You close your mouth, you feel the wetness inside your mouth immediately. Now we're going to do the first part, which is learning how to breathe with the diaphragm. So first, I want you to just focus on your breathing, observe your breathing, and just say to yourself, I know I'm breathing in. I can feel the in-breath. I know I'm breathing out. I can feel the out-breath. Now I want you to focus on the belly button. And when you feel that you're breathing in, relax the stomach as if you're taking the belly button and bring it across the room. And when you feel that you're breathing out, you collapse the stomach as if you're bringing the belly button all the way to the back. Relax, one breath at a time. Breathing in, stomach forward, belly button forward. Breathing out, belly button back. Okay, now let's sit for 5 minutes. We have time, okay? Now this one, just basically train yourself to breathe with your stomach. More precisely, breathe your diaphragm. That's just how we used to do it when we were born, okay? Life was wonderful back then. Let's do it again. Breathing in, open that stomach, belly button forward. Breathing out, bringing back your belly button. One breath at a time. Okay. Now we're going to do the second step. I want you to let go of your belly button and just feel your breath. I know I'm breathing in. I can feel my in-breath. I can even feel my stomach moving slightly. And I feel that I'm breathing out. I feel that my stomach is moving slightly, collapsing a little bit. So maintain that feeling. I want you now focus on the lower part of your spine. When you breathe in, I want you to go from the bottom of your spine to the top of the head, along the spine, stretching the spine as you go up. Then when you get to the top of your head and your body start to breathe out, I want you to come down from the top of the head to the forehead, to the bridge of your nose, through the tongue, come back to the belly button. And as you do that, I want you to lean back and relax. When you breathe in, stretch the spine. And then when you breathe out, lean back and relax. Now, this is how I meditate. I maintain the posture and I maintain focusing on my breath, anchoring my mind on my breath and nowhere else. I usually sit for about half an hour before class starts. And so it takes a little bit more than, 5 minutes, in my case anyway. Half an hour is just about right. And you start to feel the energy in you. As you breathe in, your body oxygenate. Oxygen gets into the bloodstream. It actually goes to the kidney. The essence of the kidney is the bone marrow. So that energy comes up the bone marrow, come up with the spine. So as you breathe in, you stretch your spine, you feel that life energy rising on your spine. And then when you breathe out, relax. It comes back to your belly button. Breathe in, stretch your spine. Breathe out and relax. Now here, we're not doing our boot camp just for physical health. We want to go from physical health to mental health, knowing how your body works, how your emotion affects your body, and how to manage your emotion. But we're also doing it for our spiritual health. Spiritual health is very simple. You have to accept that you cannot change other people. You can only change yourself, and hopefully other people would be influenced by you. And here we want to focus on the positive energy. And the positive energy starts with gratitude. So as the energy rises on your spine, I want you to feel grateful for yourself, for your health, for your family, for your neighbor, for your teacher, for the society, especially the first responders. Then when you come down, I want you to practice on acceptance and forgiveness, as if you're accepting who you are and forgiving all the wrongs you have done to yourself and to others. As if you're taking all that negative energy and just let it settle as you come down. As if you're looking down at a pond and you just let all that ill feeling settle to the bottom of the pond. As you come down, you can focus on the top of the pond. And the top of the pond is where you find peace by not letting the negative energy be part of you. Just let it go. As you breathe in, you rise. I want you to practice gratitude. As you breathe out, you come down. I want you to practice acceptance and forgiveness, starting with yourself. Starting with yourself. One breath at a time. Let's sit for 5 minutes. Okay, open your eyes. So I want to share this comment, and one student come to a class, obviously for the first time, and she said, "What exactly is this class?" And immediately another student, Nicole, says, "Qigong, also known as Qigong, is a traditional Chinese practice that combines gentle movements, breathing exercises, and meditation to promote health and well-being. It is believed to improve energy flow, qi, throughout the body, leading to various healing benefits." I couldn't have said it better. All right. Okay, so with that, I'll say goodbye. Well, I'll see you again next week. Let us all be blessed with peace, with health, and with happiness, and be able to share that with our family and our friends. Namaste. Thank you for all the donation. Okay, 星期一見，拜拜。
多謝張女士。
Okay, bye bye.